Hey everyone, it's Jim. I'm a realtor in Boise, Idaho, and today we're going to tour Camel's Back Park and some of the hiking trails that are around here. Hope you'll join along. All right, so we're starting here at the main base of Camel's Back. We've got the parking area. We're over here by 13th Street, just across the way over there. And then here's a playground for the kids. This is pretty popular in the summertime. A little bit of snow on the ground left over from snow a few days ago. This will all probably melt off within the next week. I think normally the snow melts off within like a day, but we have some really cold temperatures coming. So I think today is about 27 right now, and the high is about 31 or 32 today, just to give you a sense. It's early February. And so there's Camel's Back. There's the actual hillside. Where I'm standing right now that's snowy is normally grassy. And you can see people up there. We're going to go up there in a second. You can see other people kind of traversing the hill. And also down here at the base is a sand volleyball court and a couple of tennis courts. And there are a couple different ways to get into the park. One is here where I'm parked in the main sort of parking area. You can also go around the hill over to the right side on 9th Street and completely bypass this whole Camel's Back hill and just get back to the trails behind. And you can also go over to 8th Street and drive up. I'll show you that in a minute, but there's a couple of different parking areas up there, and that allows you to get up into more remote areas of the park that are more like trails and less like a big grassy field. And I should also mention that kids come out here and sled when it does snow. I can see some marks from the remains of where kids have been out here sledding, which is fun. And I'm not sure if it shows up in the video, but this is a pretty steep hill, so I'll be completely winded by the end of it. But this first section is basically just sandy. And then there are a bunch of stairs up here in a moment. Hello. There's a second trail right there that goes a little bit less steep than these stairs, goes up to the same place. I actually sometimes take that one. All right, well, I'm going to catch my breath and show you some cool views. All right, breath has almost been caught up with, and so here's the top of the stairs. This is looking out northwest-ish, and so the neighborhood we're looking down on is the north end. And it's a little bit cloudy across the valley. Normally you can see the Owyhee Mountains off to the southwest. So there's the park down there. See the parking lot. You can see the tennis court right there. And then there's downtown. Beautiful. And you can see the Capitol building here. I don't know if you'll see it in the video, but I can see a plane taking off down in the horizon way out to the interstate. So that's the whole downtown. And this north end is just one of my favorite areas. Lots of old homes from the 40s era. Really cute, charming. I love the historic Hyde Park area, so watch my other video just with a walk around of Hyde Park if you're interested. And then down here you can see the 9th Street entrance. So down below you see a few cars parked. That's the way to get past, to access the trails without coming up here to the top of the Camel's Back hill. And all of this area with trees back here is part of the Camel's Back Park. And you can see some trails going up. We'll go down there and check it out. And then actually in the mountains you can see straight dead center right there is Bogus Basin. There are a bunch of antennas up there you should be able to see, and that's the ski area that's local. It's roughly a 40-minute drive up the hill, up Bogus Basin Road. And that's a local ski area. Pretty small, but you know, a lot of folks seem to really like it. And then you can see a paved road down there. There was a truck driving on it just now, or a truck driving on it right now. But that is where 8th Street leads, and there's more trails and parking back there, so we'll head there next. All right, so we just came down from Camel's Back. We're on the back side of it now. And we're on one of the main trails that goes up into the back of the park. But we're gonna turn onto Red Fox over here by the pond, because I want to show you a creek and one of my favorite trails. All right, so we're approaching the Hulls Pond Trail. So it goes, basically it's a really small one. It goes around a small pond right here. But one of my favorite features of this park, especially on a hot day, is this creek right here. Because the dog can come take a swim and cool down, get a drink of water. And then here's one of my favorites. This is Red-Winged Blackbird Trail, 35A. And it comes up here into an area just full of willow trees. It's almost a little bit marshy, but it's totally different because it has the creek nearby and all this water. Completely different type of vegetation here than over on the hills where you see a lot of sagebrush and just grass and stuff like that. And you can see this is probably not actually passable right now because it's probably really soft and icy. Yeah. So I'm not going to bother attempting to walk this, but you can see here, really, especially, obviously, it's less pretty right now because it's all, it's winter time, so there's no leaves on anything. But when the leaves and everything is blooming, this is gorgeous. So we'll turn around and go back and we'll walk up to where you can access from 8th Street the Grove parking lot. All right, so now we're coming out of the trail from the main parking area and the main kind of park over by the actual hill, Camel's Back. And we've popped out to the Grove parking area. The Ridge to Rivers Trail System manages all of this trail. They have a bunch of maps They also have information on trail etiquette and all the local plants. And they do have dog poop bags, which is very nice. I would actually say most of the parks here do, which is really handy. And then another thing to point out just while we're here at the Grove parking, so you can actually, on the north end of the Grove parking lot, there's a small trail, crosses the creek and goes up to this little ridge. And that's a really nice ridge to walk on. Here's a nice safe road crossing. So we're on the road, by the way, where if you were to go on 8th Street North, take it all the way up here, you come across the Grove Street parking lot, or Grove parking lot. And then if you go farther, you end up at the Jim Hall Foothills Learning Center. And that's really neat. I'll link it below, but it has a bunch of information on, or it has educational stuff for kids, so they can learn about some of the plants and animals in the area. And it's just really pretty. I think it'd be a really neat experience for young kids. And if you go even farther, there's the Upper Holes Gulch Trail. And if you go even farther, you hit Sunset Peak Road and Sunset Peak. And the trail that I'm on now walks straight up and connects to all of those. It connects to the Jim Hall Foothills Learning Center, all the other Holes Gulch trails, the Kestrel Trail. The one I'm on right now is really popular for hikers, for dogs, and for bikes, because it's a little bit farther away from the main part of the park, slightly less traveled by normal people, but a lot of trail runners that actually come use this trail as well. You can see a pretty big wide open area that's just kind of grassy. Here's the Foothills Learning Center that I was talking about. Parking lot for it right over here on the Kestrel Trail. By the way, I'm crossing the road at the Foothills Learning Center that goes up towards Sunset Peak. I just wanted to mention, I forgot to say this, but the road does turn to dirt at some point here. So there's the Foothills Learning Center just over that little hill. There's a really neat kind of hillside. And then I'm actually walking across the road that you drive on to get over here to the main kind of central trail that goes up and down Camel's Back Park. And we'll walk back down to the Camel's Back on that central ridge. This is the, oh yeah, so we're back to the Red Fox Trail number 36. Red Fox Trail. And at least for the moment, it starts out as an access road, but it's going to quickly turn into just a nice little trail here shortly. All right, so off of Red Fox, here's the turn for Chickadee Ridge, and that goes up onto this kind of higher central ridge in the park. Very nice little trail. All right, so we're on the Red Fox Trail. It just turned back to single track. You can see a really neat neighborhood just to the side here, up these hills. And then off in the distance right there, you can see the north side or back side of Camel's Back. And then off to our left is the Chickadee Ridge Trail. This is a nice little trail. One thing I wanted to mention real quick is that the trails here, especially after a rain or a snow, the trails can get really muddy. You can see all these prints in here. And so the Ridge to River Trail System website has some information on what trails are better for wet weather days to try and avoid tearing up these trails in the mud. I am trying to avoid stepping in the sort of muddy spots and sticking to the snow and ice out here right now. And then another technique you can use is just to come out early enough where everything is still frozen. Oddly, today I thought since the temperature was like 27, everything would still be frozen. But down here in these little valleys in the direct sunlight, obviously the ground warms up enough to thaw and get a little bit muddy. That's actually one of the things I forgot to mention in my winter weather video, was that one of the things that's so cool about the weather here in the winter is that the sun is out pretty often, other than when we get the inversion. And so it makes it really pleasant, even if it's 30 degrees. The actual the way that it feels is very different from if you're in like Seattle and it's 33 degrees and kind of drizzling and super cloudy. This is very nice. Hey everyone, I wanted to say thanks for joining me on this tour of Camel's Back Park in the north end of Boise. If you have any questions about parks in Boise, neighborhoods in Boise, the north end, real estate, anything about Boise or the state of Idaho, give me a shout and I'd be happy to help. Thanks for watching the video, and tune in next time for whatever comes next. Thanks.